Okay, here we are at Christopher Cutts Gallery, and I'm sitting with Anne Whitlock. I met Anne back in 1991, 92.
Long time ago,
Long
yes.
time ago. When I say that, I don't think it's that long ago, but if you do the math, it's
a while.
Yeah, it's maybe a lifetime ago. Anyway, we have a show right now that's surveying Anne's time at the gallery. I think it touches upon 8 exhibitions.
Wow.
And we have Anne sitting with us, and we're going to have a little conversation. When did you know you were an artist, Anne?
Well,
does anybody ever know that
no,
exactly? Or?
No. I'm still waiting for somebody to come and say, you're a fraud.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
But I knew I wanted to make things for me, not for industry.
Mm-hmm.
When I was in my mid-20s.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So not as a little girl?
No,
you weren't sitting there with the crayons? And
No.
So when you're in your 20s?
Yes. After I finished with the College of Art and worked in a design office, then I met somebody
Okay.
who suggested there might be another way to do my life that involved me making things not for industry, but for other purposes, for the joy of making.
Okay, so you had attended OCA, the Ontario College of Art. You studied industrial design?
I did.
Yeah. So at that time, you didn't think, I'm going to be a visual artist?
No, I did not.
Interesting.
That's
And then you met Dave, is that
David
who
Watson.
became your husband?
my partner.
Your partner?
I'm not a marrying kind
Okay,
of
but your
person.
partner early on, and if I remember, he was a painter?
Yes, he was.
Ah. How did you meet Dave?
I picked him up in the Pilot Tavern.
Oh, nice, nice.
Back in the day, that was the place.
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Yeah, for a long time. Yeah, that's where all the Isaac's gang like to hang out, is the Pilot. And okay, good.
And being a predatory older woman, there was this beautiful young man sitting close to me.
Yeah, you were older, like in your late 20s or something like that?
Yes,
okay.
And he was his mid-20s.
Okay.
And I said,
I wouldn't quite call you a cougar, but okay. Okay,
yeah.
Nice. Industrial design, what exactly do they mean by industrial design?
I'm not sure. It's the guy who designed your tape dispenser.
Okay.
Designed it to reduce the amount of materials used, designed it for ease of use, so things don't just appear in our lives, they're designed. Mm-hmm. And an industrial designer has to know how the maker can make his or her product.
I guess
proposal.
This marriage of form and function.
Yes.
You got to get it. You want the best form, the best function, and stuff like that. Okay, so you met Dave. He says there's a different way, and what happened from there?
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah. Okay.
We're
talking the 1970s. This survey is only from the 1990s. So we go back, another 20-some years.
Yes.
So you've been making an art a long time
now.
A
long time, a frighteningly long time.
Okay.
What was your question?
Well, what were some of your first art objects that you started to do?
Well, I would never call them art objects.
Okay.
What I did was, a woman I shared a house with was a weaver. And she gave me her leftovers, she was pretty classy in her taste.
Okay.
And so I got raw linen and silk and really nice stuff. And I started to twiddle around with it. Fortunately, I didn't have a background in textiles, so I was able to approach this sort of on my own terms.
Nice.
And I made some stuff. And I made so much stuff it moved outdoors on my front porch.
Okay.
And the old story is, shall I tell you?
Please.
This woman who was, well, it was Jeannie Parkin. She drove by my house and saw these things hanging on the porch. And she was a member of, or the chair of, I don't know, but the Women's Committee at the Art Gallery of Ontario.
Okay.
And they were putting together a show called Hangings. And they'd already decided who was in it and blah, 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 blah. But she had a buzz about what was on my porch. So she mentioned this at a meeting. And at the meeting, talk about serendipity, was my mother's cousin, K.M. Graham, who, who is a well-known Toronto painter.
Well-known abstract painter. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she said, I think that might be my niece. And dug up my phone number, and I got this call from this lovely woman who said, can we come to your house and look at what you're doing? And I said, sure. And they took everything I had and put it in the show.
At the AGO?
At the AGO.
Wow.
Yeah. So, boom.
So, from your front porch to the AGO?
Right. In 10 easy steps.
Wow. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Life can be like that, eh? Just
Oh.
a certain situation arises and boom.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
nice.
So I can remember I went to the AGO to check out that they'd hung the work in a way that pleased me. Okay. And at one point I had to go up on a ladder. And this little voice at the bottom of the ladder said, Anne, do you know the work of Eva Hess? And I said, no. She said, if you're in this business, you better make it your business to know these things. So that sort of gave me a view of what might be ahead.
Things kept rolling after that?
Things did. Yeah. Alvin Balkind, who was a very controversial American curator, came and took up the Canadian contemporary slot at the Art Gallery of Ontario.
Okay.
And made it his job to meet as many people as he could. And so my friend David and his friend Roger went to see Alvin and said, hey, we're the best. Come and see our work. So
nice.
He did. And my work was in the same space. So he saw my work too. And he liked it. He supported me. I ended up having a one-person show at the art gallery.
After that, so first you were included in
in a group
collective show,
and then
Jean Parkin saw your stuff on
yes,
the porch.
And then there was sort of a survey when the new Parkin edition to the gallery opened, and Alvin included me in that, and then suggested I might like to do a one-person show.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
wow.
Yeah, it's great. How about your art practice? Is it connected to your identity? Do you think there's a correlation between the two?
I think very much. It's particularly influenced by where I am, because when I was in Toronto, I lived at Queen and Spadina, and that was the heart of the garment industry in those days. Mm-hmm. And I got all sorts of treasures out of the garbage.
I bet.
Yeah, and was able to make bigger things.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up going to a textile recycling factory and getting a ton of fluff, which is a hell of a lot of fluff.
Yeah.
And made a series of works. So that's, I guess, when I started to think serially that this ton of fluff came compressed between cardboard, and what it was underwear offcuts from the Stanfield factory that had been picked, which means machines tore it apart.
Right.
And this bale had bands of color, and each band had a relationship to the next band. So, I mean, obviously, you don't just choose one, you work with all of them.
Right. But this is the refuse from the garment, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
So the environment is very important to your practice.
Well, subconsciously. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
when I moved out to Brantford, I didn't have that kind of stimulation, but I had a really beautiful studio with wonderful doors, which I built out of wire mesh, and windows. And so it shifted. There's some of the textile stuff in that I sewed the wire mesh, and there's thread involved.
Right. Now, what about that kind of hands-on thing, sort of the labor-intensive element to it?
I love making things. These little hands make a lot of
I know,
stuff.
yeah, like papier-mâché, sewing buttons on, all
Yeah,
this is,
yeah.
everything is, and while you're doing that, it's just, time is lost, you're there.
Pretty much, until my back hurts or I get hungry.
Okay, but otherwise,
Yeah.
Okay, I got to do a bathroom break, but otherwise time stands still.
That's my life.
Yeah, I think that's very special.
That's-
Yeah, I've always thought that was a wonderful element about being a visual artist, that you are lost in that. It's really now.
Yeah.
And yeah, anyway, I think that's great. Has your art evolved? Do you think there's been an evolution?
Well, I think so.
Of course.
You could answer that probably better.
Well, it's consistent for sure. In the 30 years that we've been working together, it's never like I think, wow, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. However, they're different. It's not like the same thing. You're not repeating yourself. The one thing I find is this, how you immerse yourself. It takes you time to put together an exhibition, like years.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
When you're doing that, are you thinking about an end, or you're just making art out there?
That's an interesting question, because it starts out as an exploration, as solving a problem. Okay. How do I make this? And then I make something, and then, like it or not, this space pops into my mind.
Oh, I like that.
And I think, okay, so it's an interdigenous kind of thing.
Sure. Okay, that's right. Your installations are always thought out. This is a little different for you to see the survey, because you didn't come about. You just said, surprise me. Yeah.
And it's, when I show again, I want your input, because your eyes have brought something to my work that I may not have seen. So next one will be a collaboration.
Okay. I think it's been a collaboration for 3 decades now.
Yeah.
Is there a piece in this exhibition, this 30 years, that has a particular story about it, or are they all stories?
They're all stories.
Stick out for you?
More or less. I think the piece Disappearances in the back room is probably a good one to talk about.
Okay, tell us a little bit about it.
Because it demonstrates where I was, which was living on the cusp of a wild bush area. And
This is in Paris,
in
Ontario.
Paris,
Yeah, okay.
Ontario.
Okay, yeah.
The infamous Barker's Bush. I say it's Barker's Bush because my dogs go there. Bark, 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 bark.
Okay.
Bark, bark, bark.
Nice.
So I spent hours every day over the course of years just putting around out there. I'd go out with my side cutters, my little saw, and steel branches and clipped thorns and
Right.
pick up bones and nests and all sorts of things and trundle them home.
Okay.
So the stick with the hook in the next room was part of a cargo of larger sticks that I dragged home. And Ron would come home and say, I'm not going to ask.
Nice.
So.
Now, what about disappearances? Like, I notice it's DIS in parentheses and then appearances. Is that a key to looking at that piece?
Well, it might just be an affectation. It's interesting because those bones came from a dead animal. Usually in the bush you'll find a bone, a jawbone, an antler, something.
Okay.
But this time there was a whole dead animal. And I thought, this is my deer.
Okay.
So,
Like, what time of year was that?
it was in the spring.
It was in the spring, hey?
Yep.
Early
And
spring or something like that? Yeah.
pretty early
Yeah.
spring. Yep. And I just left it and went back several months later, and it had disappeared. This huge animal had disappeared, so I started digging with my hands.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it was under the leaves.
Yeah, of course, everything had grown over. Had it started to decay and stuff?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
considerably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the skull was totally eaten. So there was very little flesh left.
Okay.
So I picked out bones and took them home
Okay.
and made molds of the bones, and reappeared.
Yeah.
That disappeared.
That was how
Yeah.
the meaning I took. You know.
Yes.
Appearance.
Yes.
This something that we would have forgotten about it. It would have just gone back into ashes to ashes.
Yes,
Dust to dust
just,
type of thing.
just like all of us.
Yeah, just like all of us. And now that animal lives forever in that object.
Or my view of that animal. Because
So it's not the entire skeletal.
No.
It's certain pieces that you picked.
Yes.
And then there'd be multiple. You made the mold, then you'd cast them, and then they, as they're displayed on the table, they have, for lack of a better, kind of a formalist
yes,
approach.
yes,
I mean, it's beautiful.
yes,
Yeah.
and yeah,
They were cast in hydrocal?
hydrocal plaster, and they were patinaed with floor wax.
Oh.
Yeah,
They look like the real deal.
I know.
I know. There's a cabinet behind them.
Yes,
The molds are in there.
Some
you
of
see
the
it?
molds.
Some of the molds.
yes, and the vertebrae with the razor arrow through it.
And that's a real bone there.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
That's the real deal.
Yes. And some of the ones in the cabinet are real deals. And I've got the rest at home in a basket.
Okay, so molds. You make molds, you cast things, that's part of what
Yes.
you do. Papier-mâché. We think, I remember as a kid making a papier-mâché Halloween mask. I loved it and stuff like that.
See, I didn't.
Yeah, okay. I haven't made any papier-mâché since I was a kid, but...
Well, my interest in papier-mâché came about when I got a job as the arts and crafts person at a correctional institute.
Okay.
And I thought, okay, what's something that's cheap that the guys could work in? And these were male inmates.
Okay.
And papier-mâché came to mind. I thought, well, I better figure out how to do this before I pretend to teach other people how to do it. And I loved it. It was just cheap.
Yeah.
You could do things, you could fool people with it.
For sure.
Yeah, you could make it look like
Yeah,
anything.
we got a pair of boots over there, and when I tell people, it's and then it's not until they actually feel it in their hands that it sort of leaves that, because it was whoa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think the unpainted shoe tells more of the story.
Business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, where were we? I can't. Went off on a tangent
from
there.
making casting bones to
Oh,
making papier-mâché
papier-mâché
shoes, I guess. Yeah.
It ended up being, first of all, I made the gloves.
Yeah, that's the loss for my sister piece.
Yes, and I made
sort of an homage or a tribute to your grandfather.
Father, who lost one of his hands in an industrial accident when he was a young man.
Okay.
And wore a steel prosthesis that didn't do anything. It wasn't bionic back in the day.
Yeah.
And when I was a little kid, I lived with he and my mom and my grandmother.
Okay.
And I thought all men had a little stump that they had one hand, and a little stump that they could balance a teacup on. And, it was just wonderful. I thought he was awesome.
Nice.
He could take off his hand. Sad.
My mother used to take her teeth out. I thought it was pretty wild too, but the hand, that's something.
Whoa. And sadly, when my grandfather died, my mother gave the hand to the Salvation Army.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can see some strange old lady picking it up in the Salvation Army.
Well, we got dozens of them now. Dozens of papier-mâché.
Oh, I thought you meant dozens of prosthetic hands. Yeah.
Now, papier-mâché, interesting medium. It seems, these works were made decades ago, and they look fantastic.
It's pretty durable.
It looks like it. I guess you don't want to give it a good poke or something like that, but it seems stable otherwise.
Yeah, it discolors. You can tell by that unpainted pair of shoes.
Right.
That the shoes were built up to a fairly sturdy dimension, and then they were gessoed inside and out, which strengthens them.
Okay, another little thing I think. I've heard you describe yourself as a bit sentimental. Yeah.
Well,
you think that's true? Is that?
I don't know if that
is necessary.
What do you think the word sentimental connotes?
Nostalgia?
Okay, I think of nostalgia as a powerful force, not a weak force.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe that's better. I wasn't thinking sentimental as something that's weak or something like that. I think it's.
But usually,
people do think that,
hey? It's not a He-Man word.
You love what you do.
I do.
It's been nice, eh? You've been doing this your entire life, I guess, since your mid to late 20s?
Late 20s, yep.
Making objects. Despite, you're doing this because you want to do it. It's not because,
It's not because I'm getting fantastically rich.
Yeah.
And I'm not enriching you either. No.
But it feels like good work, doesn't it?
It does.
I feel like what I'm doing, of course, I'm the money element of the business, and we need money to keep things rolling, but that's not the most important thing about what we do at the gallery. Doing things like what we're doing right now, us having this discussion, a publication celebrating, 30 years of work.
A
I'm gonna do a
beautiful
little shout out
publication.
to the Cuts team, Ravish and Shane, and we had an intern, Riley, as well, and we have 2 other interns that are helping out, Sarah and Lucia. Anyway, this happened because of them, and we're all feeling very good about that. Is there anything else you want to, any proudest moments?
Actually, I want to backtrack.
Okay.
And I want to tell you about my relationship to the computer.
Please.
Because I had a little bit of knowledge because I worked in a library and you had to use a computer, but that's not really knowing the computer. Mm-hmm. I knew I wanted to do things with photographs, and I knew I wanted to make a book of my work. So I had a neighbor whose wife did know about computers, and I hired him, and we had play school, and he taught me how to use Photoshop.
Okay, nice.
Which was just totally liberating. I had so much fun, like the repetitions, the diminution of those little shoes, making the posters,
print for reported business, yeah.
Doing this, having a printer. He told me what kind of printer might be a good idea. It was a whole new world for me, and I'm grateful.
It's interesting. So part of your practice is hands-on, like making things out of papier-mâché or stitching things or weaving things.
Yeah.
But then you can go over into the technology of the computer age, and the same kind of process is involved, you think? It's not quite as hands-on, but you got to think your head.
When I make these repetitious little poster things, It is pretty analogous to a lot of the ways I work with three-dimensional things.
Right. We've talked about the buffalo hair pieces.
Yes.
Yeah. And for the longest time, I thought that it was some Anne has Bouvier's, had several. One of her dogs was named Buffalo. Yeah, a particular favorite, I suppose. I suppose they're all wonderful. Okay. But back to buffalo, and for the longest time, I thought you'd taken some of buffalo's hair, curly, kinky hair, and sandwiched it in between a glass and a piece of thing. And even today, I look at it, and it really has that three-dimensional quality about it.
And that's a scanner. The hairs are, a lot shorter than they appear on the prints. And
so what'd you do? You had to extend them or something? Or?
Well, you just enlarge it. And as you enlarge it, there's shadows that show up and grits and all this stuff. So I spent hours and hours and days and weeks cleaning the scans. I make them ever bigger and then make them
this laborious process of yours.
So
back at it again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, the results are phenomenal.
I was so thrilled with those. Yeah.
Yeah. Likewise. How about that artistic career? Any highlights?
Just being here at the age of 80.
Amazing, hey?
And having all you wonderful people around me.
Yeah, it goes both ways, Anne, believe me. And you deserve it. I've wanted to do this for a long time, and just everything seemed to line up right now, and we've made the maneuver, so wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you, Anne Whitlock, and thank you for this wonderful show.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Christopher.
We're
going to go for lunch soon.
Oh, yay.